In our last homework problem, we linked our new income statement tab onto the drivers tab, which will now allow us to set both our historicals as well as our projections for the income statement and have that tie to our income statement tab. We now want to repeat those same steps for the balance sheet. And if you haven't gotten a chance to do this on your own, go ahead and pause the video now and then meet me when you're ready to go over the solution. Okay, so just like with the income statement, what we're going to do is first work on the dates over here for the balance sheet. So I'm gonna go again back to the template. It looks like my annual needs to start in column F, and column W is where I need to get all of the balance sheet months to start. So right now it's on column C. So I'm just gonna highlight all of the information here, and I'll hit Control plus, and let's just reduce the column width over here. Let's go to the right. Let's see if that worked. Okay, so now you can see that column W is where my months start, which is good. That's what I actually want. Now let's get the headers in. So I'm gonna take this template over here, and from row 4 through 7, I'm gonna come over here and I will select this. And after I copy it from the template tab, I'll hit Control plus, and it looks like everything copied over correctly. So now I just need to take the actual row over here, and let's just copy and paste this information, and I will come here and paste it as such. And I'm noticing I have a mistake here. This is saying projections even though it's not. I think I just need to change this to instead pull from here. So this is now gonna pull from this end date tab. Let me just copy that over and just make sure that everywhere has that update. Okay, great. Let's remove grid lines, Alt WVG. All right, and let's just create a little buffer column, but I'll delete columns D and E, which I don't need. Okay, so now we have our dates. And just like last time, I wanna take advantage of any cells that have calculations so that I could reuse that. So I'm just gonna select all the data on my balance sheet. I'll press Control C, and then I'll come here and I'll paste it with Control V, and I'll do the same thing as such. Okay, now let's select all of the values here. We're gonna click on Home, go to Special, under Find and Select. And again, we're gonna select constants. Let's go ahead and click OK. All right, now all these constants, I'm just gonna hit Delete as such. Okay, now let's go back to the template, and we're gonna utilize the index function as such. So I'm gonna select this data, and again, confirming that rows 4 through 8 is where my data shows, which looks like it aligns. So now I'm just going to hit an index over here, and I'll just paste, and I'll continue pasting. Okay, now I already had an error check from earlier, and it looks like everything passes. There's just one last thing that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna apply this index also to the total bank accounts, because that's where, again, I'm gonna plug my actual cash projections when we create this statement of cash flows. All right, so now that I have this information, the only thing remaining is going to be to link the balance sheet to the drivers tab. And that's really simple. I'm just gonna write equals sum ifs, and the drivers tab is going to be over here. And once again, I'm going to sum if column D, which now is going to refer to this section as such, is equal on the balance sheet to my account that I have over here. And I'll just copy that, and I will copy that as well. And I'll just continue copying all of this information as such. Now let's just select this entire column. And remember, what we want to do in this instance is drag forward the references to the drivers tab so that everything for both historicals and projections will pull as such. Excellent. And once again, the total bank accounts is going to be where I create the cash flows projections. So I'm just going to copy that as well below here so that it pulls directly from the drivers. Okay, now let's set up our error check. So we already have an error in place here. I'm just gonna write error checks, or rather checks. And let's add over here, let's make sure that assets equals, liabilities equal, and owner's equity equals. Okay, so let's double check. Do assets over here equal assets over here? Looks like it does. I'm actually just gonna make this a minus so that it shows as a 0. And let's copy the formatting as such. And I'm gonna check the same thing now for liabilities. And the same thing for owner's equity. And let's copy this information as such. Let's drag it to the right. And I could also drag it to the left as such. Perfect. Now, lastly, I am just going to hit Alt-A-G in order to group. Let's hit enter. And I'll do the same thing over here. Excellent. And now it looks like my balance sheet is tied to my drivers. So once again, if I just hit 55 here, looks like I don't have my error check set up. So I'm just going to hit that button over here. And I just hit 55 over here, and it looks like I do have an error, but the error is not populating in the error check because we didn't set that up yet on the error check tab. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's copy and paste this information here. And I'm going to change this reference on the balance sheet to pull from everything over here. And I'm just going to copy this information and I'll paste it here. And I will finally paste it over here. Let's hit enter. And it looks like I have 2 errors because of that item that I just updated. So let's just copy and paste this formula here. And now our model is back to functioning properly. Awesome. Our last step here is to create a statement of cash flows. And I'll see you in the next video where we'll accomplish that.